right, guys, I do have a Sunday morning editorial for you. And this one, I don't know what is going on with the cops there, but it's out of Florida. And it talks about how the sheriff's deputies kind of drug their feet or car tires or whatever you want to say. But a disabled man, was in danger and stress, and I don't know what you guys think in the comment section below. This is a really long one. I will put a link to it in the description box below. You can see I'm wordless. I have no words for this. Let's see what happened. Thank you to sunsentinel.com for this story. A man had just stepped from the shower and was settling in for the night when he caught a glimpse of a figure outside of his window. 70-year-old Bill Norkunis, a childhood polio survivor, headed over to the light and flicked it on, hoping to scare away whoever was there. Instead, the light was a beacon, drawing a young man to his front door made of glass. For the next 15 minutes, Norkunis stood there barefoot and unclothed with his crutches on one side of the glass pane, trying to steady a gun in his trembling hand, while the stranger stood on the other side, pounding on the door, banging it with his hip, or gnawing at the thick hurricane-grade glass with a garden paver. Norkunis, who suffered minor injuries from the glass digging into his foot, has no idea why the man, later identified as 23-year-old Timothy Johnson of Fort Lauderdale, tried to break down his door on November 7th. And as bewildering and just as terrifying to him is the knowledge that a squad of Broward sheriff's deputies responded to his Tamarack neighborhood, but none came close to his home to stop the man. Instead, they waited down the street until he walked over to them and surrendered, witnesses told the South Florida Sun-Sentinel. Yeah, the cops waited for the guy to walk over to their police car so he could surrender. They didn't run up there and try to grab the guy. The result is a palpable sense of outrage toward the sheriff's office, with many in the neighborhood questioning why deputies would leave a terrified disabled man to fend for himself as long as they did. The sheriff's office refused to answer questions, big surprise there, about the response, including why no one showed up at Norkunis' home, whether policy was followed or broken, and whether the situation could have been handled better. Instead, the sheriff's department released this statement. Before I read it, whether a policy was followed or broken. You got a guy in distress. Somebody's trying to break into his home. Who cares about policy? Go get the criminal that's trying to attack the disabled man, elderly disabled man. So the sheriff's department statement released says, quote, within days of the incident in Tamarack, the Broward Sheriff's Office began a thorough review into how the deputies on scene handled the response to this fluid and rapidly evolving situation. The review into this incident is ongoing. The Broward Sheriff's Office responds to tens of thousands of calls for service each year. The vast majority of these calls are handled appropriately with satisfactory outcomes, and the Sheriff's Office constantly reviews and assesses its response to emergency calls in order to provide the highest level of service to the public. I love how they go, we respond to tens of thousands of calls, and we handle them appropriately and satisfactorily. But you got one where the cop sat down the street while an elderly disabled man feared for his life with a gun, and then you wait for the criminal to come walking down the street and go, hey, you, come here, you're under arrest. You don't go to where the call's at. Oh, but man, look, we handle all these calls and people are happy. Not the elderly disabled guy who had a gun in his hand, fearing for his life. Now, if that had been a cop's home, you would have zipped, the whole department would have zipped there. Oh, go, it's a cop, go. But it's just an elderly disabled citizen, so you know what? Let's drink our coffee. The guy will come down the street in a second. We'll just arrest him. But if the elderly disabled man would have shot him for being an intruder, you would have arrested him for shooting someone. Neighbors would not call the response the highest level. Instead of stopping the would-be intruder at Norkunis' door, Witnesses said the deputy stayed down the street and around corner some 500 yards away while Norkunis and his neighbors flooded the 911 emergency communication system, begging for help for almost 15 minutes. Norkunis asked the 911 dispatcher about 2 minutes into his phone call for help, if he opens the door, can I shoot him? Now, I believe there's a recording. If you click the link below in the description box, I think there's a video recording of the 911 call in that story that you can listen to. I believe that's what that is there. By the third minute, Norkunis is telling the dispatcher the stranger's trying to kick the door in, according to a recording of the call. While still on the phone with the dispatcher, Norkunis can be heard warning the stranger that he better leave or he's going to get shot. Now, Norkunis says he's never pointed a gun at anyone before. He barks into the phone at minute 4, get the cops here quick. 3 minutes later, that's minute 7, Norkunis' voice is weary. Sheriff, hurry up, please. 3 minutes more, now we're into 10 minutes. Where the hell are the cruisers? They're still not here. And then he curses, there's still no cruisers. Come to my house, please, please. And they're sitting down the street going, is that dude coming yet? No, he's still at the guy's door. Oh, let's wait a second. He'll be down here in a second. We'll arrest him. Now, they smashed his glass door. A dispatcher hears the glass breaking and alerts 18 deputies who had been assigned to go to Norkunis' home, according to a dispatcher's log that documents the call and the response. A dispatcher says, I can hear glass breaking. And they're just down there drinking coffee, collecting your taxpayer money. The glass breaking did not get enough deputies to move in on the man. And I'm just scrolling through. It's a really long one here. Oh God, oh God, oh God, he's walking to my house. Holy, boop, please help me. Please hurry up, cried out another neighbor. Trying to get help for Norkunis. So now another neighbor's calling saying, he's coming to my house. God, please hurry. They're down there drinking coffee, waiting on the dude to walk into the street. Oh, this is really long. Now it says here that Johnson was arrested on 2 burglary charges, battery on a person over 65 and throwing a missile into a building. He is out of jail on a $14,100 bail. He does not have voicemail set up on his phone. He did not return repeated text messages. That's the suspect. Now, you go up a paragraph here. Norkunis said a sergeant explained procedures for setting up a perimeter so that Johnson could not escape, but also admitted they could have done better. Norkunis said he has offered $500 from a victim's fund. He said he turned it down. Sergeant goes, we're setting up a perimeter around the whole block while the guy's breaking into this old man's house. We're setting up a perimeter for the guy. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments section below. Community Leo Watch, watching Leos. That's law enforcement officers to include lazy asses that sit setting up perimeters instead of going to the call from coast to coast.